How's everybody doing today? It's raining. So I figured I'd do a little video, and this is just something I wanted to quick do. My 5 favorite tools for trail maintenance. And so I'm going to preface this by saying this is for trail maintenance. This is not for trail building, although some of these tools, can be used for both. Most of what I do is trail maintenance. We do build some trails, but it's usually reroutes. It's not big, major trails. I have worked with other trail companies to help facilitate some of the trail work, and I've always enjoyed that. But most of this is for trail maintenance. Number one, a short-handled digging shovel. There are different shovels. Maybe many people don't know that. A digging shovel, the front of the blade is pointed to help you get into the ground. And when I say a short handle, we're talking maybe about 36 inches of a shovel, and it's got a handle at the end. One of the reasons why I say this is because it's easy to carry. They're not very heavy, but they are really durable. And the handle on the end helps when you're moving dirt, and that's basically what we're doing with this one, is moving dirt. Like I said, we're not building trail, we're maintaining trail, so we may need to pull down some dirt out of a drainage. We may need to dig some dirt from another area of the trail to put into and build up an area that's been damaged by rain or some other thing. So that's number one. Number two, a Rogue Pro hoe. Now these probably 5.5 to 6 inch blade, and that would be at the bottom of the blade. These are typically 3-sided sharpened blades, and they have a wooden handle, and I think the wooden handle is probably around 36 inches long. This is just off the top of my head, not measuring it. These are hard to come by. I was lucky enough to be gifted one of these by Scott with Canopy Trails, and I was so appreciative. The fact that he took the time to get me one of these for helping him. This is a solid tool. This is one of those tools that if you take care of it, it's going to take care of you, and you will have it forever. Keep it sharp, and it does its work. Now this thing can be used for a multitude of things. In our area on the East Coast, we get a lot of roots and we get a lot of rocks, and a lot of times the roots themselves are small spider web type roots that come across the trail, and some of them over time get gapped between the trail surface and the roots, so it's sitting there and it's kind of fluttering. For mountain bikers, it's not as much of a big deal because we're rolling over them. It just makes a lot of chatter, but if you're working on multi-use trails, which most of ours are, this can be a trip hazard for runners and hikers. So a lot of times, if we see one, we just go ahead and take it out because they're usually not big. But the Rogue hoe will cut right through them. You just got to put a little bit of a butt to it. So that's my number two. And well, let me keep on going. So in the Rogue hoe, that can be used when you need to massage an area of trail. Say for instance, post Helene, we had a lot of root balls. Some of the root balls pulled the tread up of the trail, and they leave areas where we may need to bring the trail over. And this is the Rogue hoe. You can use it to bench cut the side of a trail. We've done that a few times already, and these things are magnificent for that because they cut. And that 3-sided cut allows you to angle and get massage the area that you're working on, for lack of a better term. Finesse would be another term. So, all right, number three, I've got, it's a twofer, a rake. And when I say twofer, there's the metal rake, and then there's the larger leaf rake. This can be a personal preference thing. The larger leaf rake, if you are moving a lot, if you're doing drainage work, and the biggest part of your drainage work is just clearing, leaf litter, the large leaf rake that you would get at most garden centers, Lowe's, Home Depot, you name it. You can use that to get rid of a lot of leaves and they don't get built up in the rake. If you're doing more work with dirt, or having to pull a bunch of leaves that may have already gotten matted down a little bit on the tread, then the metal rake works really good for that. But it gets clogged up with leaves, so you have to keep cleaning it out. That's not a big deal. Any kind of different, every tool I like wood handles, but sometimes you get the fiberglass handles. The thing about the metal rake is just being aware of the end of the handle and where the rake goes into the handle. Keep an eye on that. Sometimes you may have to put an extra screw in it to hold it. I've had them come flying out, and then it just ruins your day, because just the single metal piece by itself is worthless unless you got the handle. So, and if you get the normal yard rake, then I would say get one that's actually a durable one. They make a lot of them that are plastic. They're okay, but spend the money, get a good one, because a rake can do a lot of things. You can, once you've done some trail work where you've had to, maybe you've had to pull in some dirt, you've had to make something, going back over and raking it down can actually make it look finished. Finish your detail work, and you can massage the sides of a bench cut to make it look less abrupt. Make it look like it's been there for a while, and that's kind of the thing, is to look like that. So, number 4 is a 5-gallon bucket with a handle. The handle can be a metal handle or a rope handle, and I would say the rope handle, if it's got a rubber area for your hands, probably going to be a lot more comfortable than walking around with a metal handle bucket. The 5-gallon bucket can serve so many different things, it's ridiculous, but the main thing with the 5-gallon bucket is just moving dirt. If you've got to build up an area of the trail, you've got to get the dirt from somewhere. So typically what we do is, and I'm sure others do, is go to another area off trail and dig back the surface. Put your rake in first, dig back the surface, and then take what you need from there over, and then once you're done there, go back and cover it up. The 5-gallon bucket can also carry other things. It can carry some water bottles, it can carry a jacket, it can carry gloves, extra gloves, maybe some small tools, if you had some small tools you want to take with you. But don't overload it, because you are carrying it in with you, and so you can't get away with weight. But the biggest thing is using it to move dirt, to build up. So that's number 4. And number 5, and I don't know if many people think about this, but I think about this all the time. I get this from my dad, and I think every man that does any kind of work, every woman that does any kind of work, it's not inclusive, is a good solid pair of non-insulated leather gloves, deerskin or cowhide. The cowhide seems to last longer. The deerskin doesn't take as long to break in. When you go get them, I've bought them from Tractor Supply, I bought them from Walmart, I bought them from Lowe's. When you put them on in the store, make sure they feel a little tight. Feel like it's hard to make a fist. Reason being is that it's leather, and if it's real leather, it's going to stretch, and once it stretches, they will fit great. They won't cause you problems. They won't give you blisters. A loose pair of gloves is better than no gloves at all, but a loose pair of gloves can cause your hands problems. But if you get a good pair that fits correctly, you'll wonder why you ever started working without them. You will look for them every time you go into the store. I'm personally of the belief that you can never have too many pairs. So, go in, grab a pair, find one that works for you, and then buy 2 pair. That's just my thought. So anyhow, getting a little long. So this was my list for today. Hope you enjoyed that. Most anything can be found here. If you want to find it locally, you can find it locally. If you want to buy it on Amazon, you can buy it on Amazon. I don't have any affiliation with any of this. I'm just giving this out for information for you. So check back with me later. Thanks.